Hi everyone, welcome to Ballers in Suits. So for today's episode, we actually have a very special guest. He's one of the premier safeties in the NFL from the Minnesota Vikings, Camryn Bynum. So Camryn, or as I call him Cam, is actually a Filipino American. He was born here in the US, but his mother is actually Filipina. Even though he was born here, he's very much in touch with his Philippine roots. So he's proud to be a Filipino. He actually wears the flag on his helmet and actually carries the flag during post games. So, aside from being a great player, he's also a great person off the field. Uh, if you can see in his Instagram page and also the page to his foundation, so it's right here. You can go check that out. Please check that out. He does a lot of things with the community, not only in the US but also in the Philippines. So he gives a lot to charity. He participates in different events. He provides relief and financial support to typhoon victims and calamity victims. So he's really a great and inspiring person. So for this episode, we'll be talking a lot about the NIL, name, image, and likeness. So from before, actually, student athletes in college couldn't earn or engage in commercial activities in relation to their status as student athletes in the NCAA. But for the past 2 years, it has been permitted for student athletes to earn using their name, image, and likeness. So we'll be talking a lot of these things in this video, and we'll also be talking about Cam's experience being drafted and also his experiences with his agent, Klutch Sports. So Klutch Sports is actually one of the up and coming agencies here in the US. They concentrate mostly on basketball and football. And the owner of this company is Rich Paul, or as you know, the associate of LeBron James. So in this video, we'll get to take a look behind the curtain on what an agent actually does. As we are familiar of, agents are usually involved in the negotiations of a player's contract, getting the best deals from the team, getting the best salaries and extensions. But aside from that, they do actually more. They help you with training, picking the right coaches, and also helping you if in case you need financial advice, or if they are not very familiar with the topics, then they can guide you to different experts or people who are literate on those topics or matters. So we'll get to see all of these things in the video. Just a little caveat. This video was actually taken a few months ago during the NFL season. So just to put everything in context, you might be hearing some things that are related during the past NFL season. So I guess that's it. We can go to the video, and I hope you'll enjoy and you'll learn a lot from it. Thank you. Check this out.
Okay. So thanks again, Cam, for your time tonight. I guess the only questions I have were those listed in the email. I don't know if you were able to go through it. But the first question was during your college career, I mean, you just recently just turned pro, I think, last year.
Yes.
Was NIL, name, image, and likeness already an active thing or a big thing during your time at college? Or
No. When I was in college, I was the year after me is when they approved that and let that be a thing.
Okay.
So I was there. It was still illegal to do anything for money or name, image, or likeness. So yeah, we had to be real careful with everything we did as far as advertising, posting certain things or anything. We had to be super careful because the consequences for that was crazy back then.
Okay, yeah. As far as I know, you can also lose your eligibility status and those things with that.
Exactly.
Okay, I see. So, with the developments of NIL today and college athletes being associated with marketing agents and service providers, as we know, they're like kids these days. Like the son of LeBron James just got a big contract from Nike, and I think Archie Manning has one of the biggest like college NILs incoming. Uh, During your time at college, were you ever approached by like marketing providers or athlete agents during your time prospectively to represent you or help you out once you turn pro? Was there
Uh,
anything like that
yeah, before, obviously in
before
your
draft?
in your last season, when you're like finishing up season, a lot of agents reach out to you with hopes once season's done that you would sign with them. So you're allowed to talk to them and allowed to do interviews. So I had a good amount of agents and a lot of agencies calling me, reaching out to my coaches, like my trainers, my parents. I don't know how they got my parents' information, but they would find a way. They're real smart information that they have. So they would get in contact with people that are close to you if they don't reach out to me. And they would ask, but it was a lot of them, but mainly towards the last season of my career in college, but also towards the end of season, because end of every season when I was eligible, just because they weren't sure if I would declare for the draft that year. So people would always try and get ahead. But really through like them reaching out like illegally, I didn't get that much, really at all. And I know I speak for other people. I'm sure like for us at Cal, we're smaller schools. So obviously people probably weren't trying to get a bunch of deals and everything, reaching out like that stuff. But I'm sure in other bigger name schools, I'm sure that was a thing, just because you go look back at now that it's legal, everybody's talking about their old college days and talking about how they're getting paid by agents and paid by people, which I mean, that would have been cool to do if people were offering that. But looking back at it now that it's legal. But yeah, I wasn't being, besides my last season, people weren't really reaching out until it was time for me to declare for the draft.
Okay, I see. Cool. And going into the NFL draft, were you already involved with like an agent, or do you have an agent right now who's helping you out?
Yeah. So I signed with Klutch Sports.
Oh,
so
okay.
that's, I'm sure you know, with
Rich Paul.
Yeah, LeBron's people. So they have a basketball side and also a football side. So I'm obviously with the football side, I play football, and I signed with them right before I started my combine training. So around New Year, 2021, right after that season. So I signed with them immediately after season was done. Once I went through the process of doing all the interviews with them and having them talk to my parents. And with that process, I let my parents choose, because the type of person I am, I'll fall in love with whatever and really not know who's really for me or against me with it or in it for the money. So I let my parents do all the discerning with that and making those decisions. So as a group, we came up with Klutch being the best option I had, and happy with the decision still to this day. So they're able to help me the whole process and really make things easy for me moving forward from being in the draft process and the combine training, then moving on with my transition into the NFL, and even while I'm in it, still being helpful.
Okay, that's good to know. Yeah, they're I would say one of the like rising agency companies right now.
Right,
yeah,
for sure. Especially in basketball.
Yeah, especially in basketball. But I'm sure, I mean, they're also improving and developing their football side. I mean, the proprietors, LeBron is also like a football fan, so I'm sure
exactly
it'll be bigger in the future.
Right, and it's cool. It's like all one big team. It's kind of like we talk about within our agency. It's not like we try and say it's an agency. You don't just have an agent. You're signed to the agency. So you have one agent technically on paper. All the agents and everybody that's on staff with Klutch, even people that aren't agents, like the assistants and everything. It's all like a big family. So you have people helping you more than just your agent.
Okay. So with being involved with Klutch Sports, what type of services do they provide? For example, do they provide legal services? Do they provide like financial or tax consultations and those things? Or do they help you also with picking trainers, coaches, because I know when it comes to agencies, there are types of agencies that are more focused on negotiating on contracts and extensions and deals, while there are also agents who are like the full service firm. Yeah. So how does it usually go with your experience?
For me, I think, well, first, you asked what they help with. Literally whatever you need, it's their job to get it done.
Okay.
So obviously the basic needs of going through the process is they have to take care of all your pre-draft training. So they'll get a facility for you. Obviously they'll try and find the best facilities that have the best results with training. So they'll pay for your whole training program of the 2-3 months leading up to the combine and your pro day. Then, so they take care of that, give you a stipend while you're in it so you can live comfortably, take care of your rental cars, and basically be like your parent and assistant and like walk you through that whole process. So if you need to book flights for Senior Bowl or book flights for anything going back home, you can probably go back and I go back and think about it. They literally took care of everything for me. So they just make the process easy for you going through that. And being able to have them do that was super helpful. So then once you get drafted, then that's when the agent comes in to like really start doing the behind the scenes stuff with the rest of the team. So I know with Klutch on staff, we have, like I said, the whole agency. So there are people that are lawyers and attorneys in the agency that are also agents. So you have a big team looking over your whole contract. So it's not just one agent looking at it. We have the salary cap specialist. We have an attorney that looks at it all, the agent that's negotiating, trying to get you all your signing bonus and all of it up front so they can't take more taxes. However that works, I don't know all the numbers, but I know there's a lot of negotiating. Even though it's all slotted when you get drafted, you're going to make a certain amount of money based off where you get drafted, but the little ins and outs, they take care of that. So with the whole team of it, like I said, attorneys, the cap specialist, and then my agent. So that was a huge help with that. So I think we basically have a full team of everything that you need: lawyers, agent, talent agency that's also in charge of like getting you stuff off the field. So that's really cool to see what we have.
All right. Going into another topic, when it comes to your sponsorship deals, there are team sponsorships, but are you associated with any brand or business right now when it comes to your sponsors personally?
No, not yet. I'm praying I do.
Okay.
Hopefully by the end of the season, I land something, or in the off season, because I earned my starting spot and playing this year.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I'm praying that I'm able to get something. But as of now, no. But still early in my career. I'm not really worried.
Yeah, I'm sure you're getting the looks now, especially like you guys are performing well. You have a nice record right now.
Yeah, so all that helps.
Then you're gonna beat the Cards this week.
That's the expectation. So yeah, anything really winning, everything helps marketing. Being a Filipino, and there's not a lot of Filipinos in NFL, I'm sure that's gonna help me once I market myself even more. I feel like that'll be good for obviously myself, but also just for the Filipino community. I know we'll talk about that later. I don't want to get too far.
Yeah. Okay, so my next question is actually the use of lawyers and legal services, but I think you've already answered that question when you mentioned that the agency provides basically anything that you ask for, and that includes the services of the lawyers there. And I believe they also review your deals, your contracts, and those things. So that's
Yeah.
all inclusive in the 3%.
Yep. Yeah, that's included. Like I said, we have a whole team of agents, and some of them have different qualifications. So some just regular agents. Some are agents that went through law school and are formerly lawyers. So that's what's one thing that I can't speak for every agency, but I know with Klutch that we have like legal team with it and everybody involved. But I've heard some people say you want to get outside people with certain things.
Right.
I guess financial advisors, you don't want to do it within your agency because they say it's smart that you keep that separate. So mine is separate. Never needed a lawyer yet, so I'm still fresh into my thing. But I know we for sure have lawyers in the agency that are willing to help and do whatever they need to do. That and they also review your contracts and everything with you.
Okay. Sounds good. And I think going to my last question, we know that I don't know if you're aware, but football is not really big in our country. It's
Not at all.
really basketball's really the primary sport, and boxing. But well, it's rare for like Filipino Americans to be in the NFL and those things. So how do you picture the landscape for us in the next 5 to 10 years? Are you projecting that there will be more representation? And how do you think we can like improve that representation, maybe through social media or having camps, maybe get-togethers during the summer?
Yeah, I for sure think it's gonna grow. I know it's gonna grow, but I will say it's tough to do football in the Philippines. You grew up there and you live super hot, super humid.
Yeah.
And so with all the equipment and it not being, I'm not saying it's a poor country, but it's some getting resources to certain parts of the country is tough. So that's a challenge, but I for sure still see it growing like crazy. Especially the NFL has been doing these past few weeks where we're able to wear our flag on our helmet.
Right.
Just bring
that's cool.
To your home country. And even me, like I'm only one person and I've been getting a lot of messages and a lot of people like, hey, I'm into football now because there's a Filipino in the NFL. I didn't know there were any. Just small stuff like that just means so much to me. So I for sure see it growing. And for me, like this coming forward this off season, I'm planning on running camps out there in the Philippines, like football, and just kind of bringing awareness to football and gonna try and get the NFL involved with it and just market it as much as possible and get all the other Filipinos in the NFL and hopefully go out there and just with everything that I'm doing in the Philippines, whether it's the outreach with the church and feeding all the families, I feel like all that can help bring the sport to the Philippines. Just whatever awareness we can get, that's the goal. So yeah, camps, I'll say, or just representation on TV, trying to rep it as much as possible, because that's a whole. No, I feel like the Philippines is missing out because football is obviously my favorite sport, and I for sure we can get a lot more Filipinos to play football, people to know about football out there. Just not a lot of people know about it, but I think there's a lot of hope.
Yeah, I think so too. Yeah, actually, it's good you're very active in the community. Not only here in the US, but also back home in the Philippines. So I'm guessing every little thing you do will help elevate not only the sport, but Filipinos and also awareness of it. So that's such a great thing. Actually, this is actually one of the reasons why I also want to be a lawyer here in the US. And also, I want to take immigration and sports law because personally, I'm an immigrant myself. My wife's an immigrant. My wife's a nurse. And I know there are a lot of Filipinos in the future who would like to study here like me and also perform, whether it's entertainment, as a celebrity, as an actor, or as an athlete. They would like to perform here, play here, be in the NBA or the NFL or whatever league. So that's actually my long-term goal in the future, to help Filipinos transition from where we are in the Philippines to here or in other countries, other parts of the world. So
Right.
that's my big plan.
That's so cool. Yeah, because it's tough for Filipinos to get to other countries. We need a visa to go everywhere.
Yeah.
I didn't know that till I got with my girl, and I was like, wait, you guys can't just show your passport and go anywhere. I didn't understand it. Now I see why it's such a big deal when people get excited about coming to the States or going to anything. Like I know Australia, everybody, there's a lot of Filipinos out there. Like I never knew like it was hard to. I thought it was just buy a plane ticket and go. Way more than that.
Right. Yeah, it's really a big thing for Filipinos. Yeah, and yeah, I think that's it, Cam. Super appreciate the time, and thank you for the answering my questions. You've been really cool. I think what you're doing now, not only in the game, is super big, but also in the community. It means a lot for everyone. Hopefully, if you get to visit here and if you get to play here in LA, I'll try to catch one of your games live if I can.
Yep, sounds good.
Yeah, I think last year you had a game here, but I checked the schedule. You're not.
Yep.
You're not facing the Rams or even the Raiders.
Yeah. Yeah. We play the Raiders next year, actually.
Oh,
so
yeah.
That'll be...
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. As long as it's near LA, I can. Right. I'll be there.
Yeah, that's a little 3.5 hour drive.
Yeah. Or in case you have plans in the summer of going to LA, or if you have a camp, I can help out. Then I'm very much open to help out, like with your activities also.
Sounds good. Thank you. I'll for sure reach out.
Yep.
So we hope you enjoyed that episode with NFL safety from the Minnesota Vikings, Camryn Bynum. Again, thank you to Cam for doing this interview. If you like to check Cam and also the activities he's been doing, you can check out his Instagram page right here and also his page to his foundation. So just a few takeaways from the interview. As we found out, this NIL, name, image, and likeness, is really starting to take off. As you heard from Cam, during his time, you couldn't earn or profit from your name, image, and likeness. It was actually banned, and you can have a big problem with your eligibility to play in the NCAA if you were found out to have been dealing and profiting from your name, image, and likeness. But as we see today, it's already permitted. A lot of student athletes and agents and NIL service providers are taking advantage of these opportunities in the market. So right now, student athletes can earn or profit from their name, image, and likeness. Also, a takeaway when it comes to NFL agents and agencies, they actually play a very big role in the career of a player. To be an agent, you have to be certified by the NFLPA, and they actually play a big role when it comes to getting you drafted. Also improving your positioning in the draft, getting you the right coaches and training for the combine. So as we heard, this was very much in play during Cam's draft and combine experience, and we can deduce that it did a lot of benefit for Cam during his draft. Aside from negotiating contracts and deals and extensions, the agent also helps you with getting endorsements. So as we heard from Cam, agents usually get 15 to 20% of your endorsements. And as I know from player salaries, the agents usually earn around 1.5 to 3% of the player contract, and they get paid when the player gets paid. So as we can see, it's a very big business, and not only on the professional level, but also on the college level as well. So I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you have any comments on how to improve the show, or any comments about the show itself now, the episode today, feel free to comment. And please like, share, and subscribe to Ballers in Suits. So that's it for now. And until next time, I'll see you again on Ballers in Suits. Thank you and have a good day. Let's get it.